Hi guys, it's Chris from Defy the Ocean. I'm back again with another reaction, and earlier on this week I released a video, a reaction video for While She Sleeps, Fake as Plague, and one of the things that I didn't really like about it was I found it a little bit too poppy, a little bit too cheesy, but from a musical standpoint and having listened to it again, I really enjoyed it. So I asked you guys if there was any other While She Sleeps tracks that I should listen to, react to, look out for, and then all of a sudden what happens, it looks like they've just gone and released a new track called Sleep Society. Now I understand the video for this has got a bit of talking at the beginning, which is fine. So I think what we'll do is we will check out the intro to that video, bring it up here, and then go straight into the song. So yeah, without further ado, let's check out this While She Sleeps, Sleep Society video.
Thank you all for coming. As you know, 3 days ago we broadcasted a message to music listeners all over the world, marking the beginning of a new era for our band While She Sleeps. We are building a new music industry model where the artist can survive and where the fan gets what they deserve. The two things that matter most. Together, we can take the power back and rebuild the system from the ground up. We want to be the voice for artists just like us all over the world, and we're asking for you to join us. We'll now be taking questions.
Is this for real? Or is it... I don't understand if they're actually real journalists there or they just kind of mocked this up.
There's been a huge reaction online since the announcement.
Okay, they mocked it up.
Questions. But do you really think the fans are going to back this?
There's been a huge announcement.
Don't ever underestimate the fans. They're the reason we're sat up here right now, and they're the reason anyone's even in this room. They have so much more power than anyone gives them credit for, so I have no doubt.
I think they're ready for change just as much as we are.
Are they though? Are most fans just not content to sit back and listen to Spotify and just get on with it, have the music delivered to them in their weekly playlists or whatever? Like so many people who listen to music nowadays are just kind of let it just wash over them and don't really listen to albums that much anymore. A lot of people. I mean, I'm not talking about people who are interested in bands like this, who are interested in metal per se or other genre specifics, but pop music for the most part, it's a single by single business, isn't it? And like companies like Spotify or Apple Music or whatnot, they kind of thrive off that.
A lot of speculation over the past few days about why you think you deserve to change the system. What makes you so special?
Well, we've lived it, and we've been forced through that system for the past 14 years. Half the bands that we grew up with have had to stop doing what they love simply because of the way the current system operates.
You've made claims about streaming services being unfair on artists. Can you elaborate on that?
Look, we're not going to sit up here and pretend like we don't all use streaming platforms because everybody here does.
It's true that if you kind of want to earn a minimum wage, you need somewhere between 300,000 to 1 million plays a month just to kind of earn a minimum wage. So it's pretty ridiculous how much or how big you need to be in order to make a living from music, given that at that level, 300,000+ listens a month, the amount of hopefully joy or entertainment that you're bringing to people should easily enough pay the wage for a single person. And that's a single person. Forget that you might be in a band and there might be 5+ members. Like, what kind of levels of music listenership do you need to have in order to support 5 people full time to produce and perform music that they love? It's, I mean, I've said this in other videos before. I'll put actually a link up there to a little rant I had about Spotify, particularly in some of Daniel Ek's comments on the music industry. But yeah, I mean, they're absolutely right in that the streaming services have a lot to answer for.
Reality is that it takes 5,000 streams to generate about 20 quid to the artist.
There you go.
Everyone takes their cut, management, publishing, labels. It's about making
Look,
it
we
sustainable.
can't deny the fact that music's being devalued. That's the main issue. And that's what's killing bands, and this is why we're standing up.
I think what people are trying to understand here is...
Just to point out that by devaluing music, you're doing a couple of things, right? One is artists are not getting paid what they deserve. So the amount of hours and the amount of effort that goes into music and creating good music far outweighs the benefit in terms of money back. So you could say, well, if you're a musician, you surely you love to do what you do and you do it anyway. Well, that might be the case. You might choose to do it anyway, but you basically have created this paradigm by devaluing music that ensures that if an artist really does want to earn a basic wage for what they produce, they need to produce more. And in that regard, the system is essentially forcing them to compromise their artistic ideals or their artistic viewpoint and potentially create subpar music. And you end up with a situation where many of the artists who survive are only artists who are capable of producing vast amounts of music. Now, some of the best albums in the world have taken 10 years to produce. I mean, who just won the Grammy for Best Rock Album was Tool. It took them almost 13 years to write an album, but they're in a very rare position where they could continue to tour, continue to earn off their old material while they created that new material. So yeah, you end up in a situation where you're underpaying artists and you create the paradigm whereby you're forcing them to produce more and in turn potentially rob the listener of the true quality that they deserve.
Who exactly is this
Well, that's the
for?
thing, it's not just for us. We want to inspire artists to take this model, use it for
The
themselves.
existence of bands and artists can be funded directly by the
How uncertain is the industry right now? We don't even know what
Is this, I mean, you could argue that a lot of artists now are doing stuff with Patreon. For example, Spirit Box do a Patreon. That's the only one I can think of in my mind. But then also you've got, I would say, platforms like Bandcamp where the money earned goes directly to the artists, and there's only a small cut that's taken by Bandcamp as far as I'm aware. So you could argue that some of these direct to artist revenue models already exist. So it'd be interesting to see what they're talking about.
the future of live music holds for us.
Give artists a little bit of hope that they don't
Or is
have
it
to stop doing
live
it.
music they're talking
to
about?
their fans properly and directly.
Music is always there for you. It's a language that we can all relate to, that we all speak.
Yeah, honestly, guys, I think it's a great idea. I admire tenacity.
It's a language that we all speak, and then I was expecting it to cut into.
Do you think this type of model for a band is actually going to work?
Oh, here we go. Here's the track. Yeah, man, these guys can riff. I like that wah guitar, actually. I think that's the first time I've liked a wah guitar since Jimi Hendrix. Oh, look at that bright yellow pickup on his guitar. I want to know what that is.
It's the difference of opinion, drawing lines across the land we live in. You're entitled to enforce, so let me hear it. Resilient, it's time to be the change you want to witness. It started as a vision, now we live it. The tables will turn, it won't be the first, it won't be the last. We're here to prove that we can speak for the masses. If you give what you take what you give. You wanna rebuild, create a system where the people exist. All of this energy can't go to waste. We don't think the chances, the wind of the sea. To lead us away from salvation. Welcome to the slave society.
Oh man, how many guitars have been ruined by the fucking over-the-shoulder job? Oh, they've inspired a child. They've inspired a child. Okay, I have to admit, what do I think of that? I enjoyed the song overall. I thought the overall message is one that certainly these guys are not alone in trying to push. I'd be interested to see some more information about what this Sleep Society is. Although it's the Sleeps Society. Yeah, because while she sleeps Society. So it looks like they're trying to take some initiative and make efforts towards securing their financial future via some kind of, possibly like a kind of Patreon-like system. But I won't comment on that without checking that out further. In terms of the actual song, I think it was very enjoyable. The riffs were great. The music was great. I did have a similar problem to what I did with Faker's Plague, which was some of the lyrics came across as being a bit cheesy for me. There was one particularly about the feeling of spiders under your skin or something like that, and that was just a bit... I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit at that. But overall, it was very entertaining, and I thought starting the video with this kind of press conference thing, it was kind of cool, and it gave them a vehicle for the discussing of important issues, and hopefully those issues might find ears that are otherwise unaware of those types of issues that are facing musicians, especially in these coronavirus times where musicians are being forced to rely on the money that they get from these streaming services, potentially as being their sole income, like merch sales aside, without the ability to earn from a live environment. They're having to rely almost 100% on what the likes of Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, etc. are able to provide, and it's woefully short of what is required in order to survive as an artist these days. So yeah, very interesting. What I will be doing later is, because this is a new track, I will be listening to it with viewers live tonight in our New Music Friday stream. So I'll pop that up here as well. So you'll be able to click on that now and set a notification for when we go live, which will be 6:30 p.m. British Standard Time, so in about 4 hours from when I'm recording this video. So yeah, hopefully you can check that out, and we can discuss some of the issues that are actually being brought up in this video, because I think it's important that fans of music are aware of just how difficult artists are finding it these days. And with coronavirus and very little change really expected until a vaccine, perhaps spring next year, perhaps even extended to summer until things really start to get back to the way that they were, if we ever get back to the way that they were. It's a long time for an artist to be surviving on the meager fractions of pennies per play that these services are offering. So please join me and the community tonight, and we'll be discussing these issues as well as listening to a whole bunch of music, brand new music that's been released in the current week, and voting on them and chatting about them. So hope to see you there. And in the meantime, if you want to drop me a suggestion for a new track, think about joining the Discord. It's in the comment below, the invite to the Discord server, and we're sending each other interesting, terrible, independent music, sharing it all the time, and it's a great way to discover new tracks. So see you there. Take it easy.